Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malaysia-Singapore HoN Championships, and this is the Call of Rally 2, and it is going to be the bronze match already. I am Babael, and joining me is Lark.
What's up, guys? Seems like we're swapping out casters a bit. Finally got my brother from another mother here, Babel, the man himself, and we saw TMWG dropping a game to who was it again? I think it was Orange Esports and NMSH. Sorry, was it Orange Esports or was it Impunity Storm? Okay, I
It's
completely forgot.
Impunity Earth.
Yeah, Impunity Earth. Sorry, not Storm. But yeah, we saw that happen just now, and now it's gonna be that bronze match to see who is actually the better of these two teams.
Oh yeah, it is going to be that way, and I'm just glad that we do have Orange Esports as well as Impunity, the original Impunity team that is Impunity Earth in the finals, and that is going to be a best of 3 series, but don't worry about that. I do believe that this is going to be a best of 1, and being the bronze match, we should be looking at pretty exciting plays here because it's only one game, and it's going to have to be the ace game. So we do have the band heroes, and it's going to be Master of Arms, Pestilence, Fate, as well as Engineer. Nicely aligned there. For the first time, I can see them so clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's very basic bands again. Fate, of course, we always talk about him. Pestilence is just that hero on that rise. In that middle lane, very, very strong ganker. Master Form, of course, needs no introduction. Neither does Engineer, of course. It just seems like now that they won't have the very conventional supports coming out. And right off the bat, you can see Pebbles and Amphora combination, which is one of those combinations we haven't seen in a really, really long time.
Yep, it is. Well, it's pretty big a combo coming out. The Nymphora and Pebbles is something that we all want to take an extra precaution with because of the roaming gang potential that it always offers. There's also the Ophelia being picked up, and Ophelia with the rest of Legion lineup a bit questionable there, but I feel it should be okay. Ophelia would be definitely in the jungle. Hack is going to the long lane. Seraph playing safe. So I think MNHC, I haven't really casted them before, but I do believe that they are pretty sure what they're doing. Standard lineups coming out, whereas for Hellborn team, it's still pretty much open around the ball. We can definitely be expecting something good come from TMWG right now.
Yeah, very much so. And in fact, they're gonna go for uh most probably a very gank heavy lineup because they already have the Pebbles and Nymphora. Maybe even have a safe carry in that sense, something like a Dark Lady or a Mage Bane or even like Draconia, something that can take a while to take its time in farm because they have aggression coming out from these heroes already. They're gonna run dual support by the way, so that's a Luna as well. So we're most probably gonna see a Pebbles, a Luna lane mid, Nymphora top with the short lane carry. It could even be a Dampier nonetheless. Like Dampier would be a really, really good choice for Hellburn team right now. But Legion team's lineup, they are unfortunately not gonna have that Aluna snipe to work with that Sandwraith, but they can have something like a I don't know, some other hero that can actually help in terms of like ganking. They need something that can follow up with the Sandwraith and like set up ganks so that Sandwraith can just go in. Something like maybe even a Revenor would be pretty good because if Revenor is able to pick up that Pearl Key, jumps in, sets up initiation, and the rest of the team does the work.
Yeah, we definitely would love to see the Revenor as well as a little bit of a Dampier coming up from Team Hellborn, but it is still not picked yet, and we are now just nicely entering the second banning phase. We do have the Tempest Keeper being banned out, and it's nice to see that teams these days, they just don't want to pick these heroes too early, so it's also good, but they also don't want to ban it out early, so they decide to ban the second banning phase, realizing that there is no real need to have them in this game. So that's pretty good. It's been a long while since we've seen a big Tempest Ultimate, and I'm missing those moments, man. But still, we do have the Moon Queen, the Magmus, as well as Kraken joining them. Kraken, man, it's a very good hero that's on the rise also. You can say that Kraken is pretty much very strong in the mid lane with the splash. That's a pretty good farm. Can also do so in the long lane, but it is going to be banned out by Team Legion because know that Hellborn have not addressed that particular possibility there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they can still go for that bubbles pickup on Hellborn team. That would be good because then that just opens up for lockdown space and even that much more potential to actually have that anti-push with the bubbles shell surf, and that's also to set up for ganks. Like it's gonna be really, really good in terms of setting up ganks for this Hellburn team, and that just means they have a lot of lockdown. If you look at it right now, there are 3 stuns coming up from this Hellburn team already. None whatsoever on Legion yet, and Legion they still need support and that off lane. Sorry, not off lane, mid lane. They're gonna go with Prisoner though. Don't really agree with that pickup because that's one of those heroes that's kind of hard to make action happen across the map. Yep, we see the Dampier pickup, so that's just gonna be nicely addressing that carry role, and that's gonna be very very huge for TMWG. We can see right off the bat that they're going for super aggression right now.
Yeah, they are, and like I mentioned before, Dampier is going to tie in very nicely because of the early game potential that Team Hellborn has. The Nymphora Pebbles combo is something that you all would be expecting to see, as well as the Dampier. I mean, it can be a Dampier Nymphora combo as well, so that's the scary thing about this Nymphora pick here. As long as there are early gamers in the lineup, it definitely is going to sync up a lot of aggression. The only sad thing is that they don't have the Sandrift to work with, because Sandrift does have Mirage, so that provides even more mobility there. By that, it's going to be fine. Whereas for Team Legion, the last pick there is going to be the Empath. Empath is very good friends with Sandwraith. We all know how the Empath in the body of the Sandwraith is going to be
Yeah,
a pretty scary kind of a combo there.
it really is. I mean, Empath with that Sandwraith means that as soon as Sandwraith hits level 6 and Empath is 6 as well, jumps in, finds a target, picks them off. There's so many targets that he can actually target right now. He can go for Luna, can go for Dampier, can go for Pebbles, can even go for Nymphora. Like, just making sure that he constantly picks off the supports every time means that he sets the supports back a lot. And the supports on the Hellborn team really need to have a decent farm and decent levels in early game to be even much more effective. So if he shuts them down, that's gonna be harder for them to set up ganks, and that's gonna make him that much more beefier in the late game.
Yep, and yeah, there we go. It's gonna be game number 1 and the only game between these two teams here. So I hope you guys will be able to enjoy this whole series. And today it's gonna be nicely covered, or rather, this game is gonna be covered by both me, Babael, as well as Lark. And on the Legion side, we got NMHC, and they are, I do believe, from Malaysia there. So that's it. The ABC XYZ will be your prisoner. We also got Marchetti, and that will be your Empath. We got Safe Lane, please, and he is not going Safe Lane. He's going Jungle. That would be the Ophelia. Vivian Iwar. Interesting. That's gonna be the Wretched Hack. Los Manales and You Win Le will be your Sandrift. And on Hellborn side, we got from Malaysia as well, TMWG and Frenzy is gonna be your Luna. Neo Kmart. I do believe that this guy I've seen it before. He is gonna be your Pebbles. Hao Chidani, he will be your Dampier. A lot of Chinese names here today. Xiao Jie, I don't know, is it little girl or Missy or a small boy named Jie, but anyway, he's gonna be your War Biz, and we got Green Holic, and that would be your Nymphora.
Yeah, a lot of Chinese names indeed. I'm actually surprised you actually pronounce as Yuan Le instead of Yuan Le.
No,
But
that's with the H there at the end, but
oh, Yuan Le. That's okay, what? Right. Okay, going to Chinese New Year. But yeah, bottom lane, they're gonna try to defend this forest right now. The dog's actually gonna spot that out, so Nymphora is gonna have that vision and just back off right there. I mean, you can't really jump into the jungle there when there's 5 heroes who's just gonna pick him up pretty easily. I'm surprised that Sandrift doesn't have stack regen. Doesn't really need it though, but can be very, very useful at this bottom lane, even despite having the support from Empath. Ophelia surprisingly going for a Blightstone's first item, so that's really weird, in my opinion.
oh yeah, it is pretty weird. Considering the fact that Ophelia is going to jungle, I would assume that with the Blightstone things are not going to be as ideal. But that's okay, she does have the rate boost to work with, so that's going to mean a lot of progression coming up from Ophelia. But this game well underway here, and we have the lanes improper right now. Mid lane is going to be Pebbles, Nymphora combo against a prisoner. It's going to feel so boxed out right now by a Fairy, and that would be the Nymphora. On the flip side, it's going to be the top lane. We do have the Hack against the Luna, as well as the Dampier, and that's going to be really scary. Terrorize there is going to miss. Even if he land, I don't believe it's going to resign a kill on the Hack, but it's going to be okay. And down south, Lonely War Biz is going to try and make his magic with the Wolf, but however, there's an Ophelia blocking the way there, and I don't think it's going to be too successful. Oh wait, he just did succeed a little bit there. So it's going to be able to pull the creeps all the way to the backup supply line. That's going to be okay. Sandrift is going to be joined by Empath in his lane.
Yeah, that's very good for them because that means Warbeast will be able to pick up on some farm himself. As soon as he gets that level 2, the other lanes are gonna get really, really impacted well because of that battle cry. It's gonna work so well for them. Oh, he actually misses out over there. Oh no, he pulls the creeps all the way back to the second defense tower. Oh, that's a bit of a misplay in my opinion. Middle lane actually there was... Sorry, yeah?
It's a grave misplay. He just lost the entire creep with, and those creeps are just gonna now suicide and attack the shrine. I want the shrine, boy! But
yeah, it's really
unfortunate.
Anyway. And middle lane, by the way, Prisoner 945 actually used the hook onto Nymphora, and that's why you see he had to use a health potion already. So it's just doing really good work here in the middle lane. Already level 3, by the way. So Pebble's not doing the best job, even despite having the support from Nymphora over there. And top lane is just getting harassed to hell.
Yup, and it seems like things are definitely looking good for the Legion team right now. And MHC doing a lot of work, as well as the fact that the prisoner... I mean, the stress was initially on him to try and survive a dual lane, but it seems like he was able to just nicely get a good amount of deny and win the lane somehow. So that's impressive work coming from ABCXYZ. He knows his alphabet very well. That said, we do have Luna coming up north here, maybe a stun, but he is hasted. Double it's gonna mean anything anyway.
Yeah, Warbeast is surprisingly still not level 2, mainly because of the fact that he kind of failed in that pull attempt with his dogs. So it's kind of that's really huge misplay, and that's something you don't want to have happen to him when he's already so far behind. Middle lane though, this prisoner, man, he's doing a lot of work against this Pebbles and Nymphora lane. Nymphora went to stack the jungle for prisoner, and I think there is a bit of okay. So he's lagging and wants to call for a pause. Top lane, no one is addressing this Dampier. He's gonna be completely out of reach for oh my god, NMHS, and Hag is still sitting at level 1, so that's really not looking good for them.
Yeah, it's not just NMHS, it could be NMHC, so all this tying in with the tournament's name, MSHC, you can tell that it's gonna be a recipe for tongue tie there, but anyway, a lot of work being done in this entire game, and I'm just gonna leave this thing. Oh, whoa! Game actually gonna resume quickly, so it's gonna be good there. And yep, we have Prisoner winning the lane pretty well. Looking at GPM, he should be about 200 over. That would be pretty decent. And yep, creep kills about 9 and 2, whereas for Pebbles it's only 9 and 4, so it's pretty okay. I mean, they are somewhat a little bit fair right now, and Nymphora didn't do much of work so far. Nymphora is gonna go to the jungle and stack the jungle a little bit for the rest of his teammate. That's very nice to see. And Nymphora still at level 1. He needs level 6 just for the port there. That's the main reason. And there we go. Reverse chucks happening. A little bit of a missing of the action happening, but should be okay. Shackle's gonna be on the Pebbles. It would not resound a kill anyway because it's gonna be a very tanky hero. But that being said, the correct combination should be the Pebbles with the stun first, then with the reverse chuck, and following which Nymphora stun. That's gonna maximize the amount of damage onto this prisoner and could possibly bring him down to about just 10% health point. But as you can see, because of a little bit of a miss, well, we can say a little bit of a bad order in terms of the skills being coming out. Therefore, this level of health on the prisoner is only at about 25%, and it will not be a kill on this very tanky hero.
Yeah, it's very hard for them to kill because it's not like the best burst potential right now. Because Nymphora, you just throw out the stun and that's about it. Like, stun will do a decent amount of damage, but you have to remember that this is a really tanky strength hero in the early game. Plus he has bottle, as you saw right there, really effective. Actually, Hag's level 2 right now, so that's good. But middle lane though.
Yeah, mid lane, little bit of extra engagement happening there. The Shackle is going to be on the Pebbles. I believe that hook was used in that previous engagement. Yep, it was, and Pebbles being reeled all the way in here like a fish, but didn't get a kill there, so I guess that's a hole in the net.
Yeah, really like a hole. Bottom lane, Warbeast is finally able to hit level 3. He actually goes for level 2 Hellhounds instead of the Battle Cry, so that's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, bottom lane, top lane, Luna actually going to go ahead and put more harass on Hag. Hag needs to be careful right here.
Oh, it's going to be down for the head because here comes the Nymphora and the stun as well, and the play there as well from the Luna. That's going to be a Bloodlust, and Frenzy is going to pick up that one, so that's nice to see. And I would say at about 5 minutes up already, it's still pretty much anyone's game. It's going to be whether Team Hellborn can materialize on the slight lead that they have, as well as the fact that the stacked jungle, does it go to anybody of importance? That's going to be a very big question. As that said, on Legion's side, I would say that Sandwraith is going to have a very good advantage going to the late game. So it's all about protecting the Sandwraith and at the same time stopping the aggression coming from the Hellborn. But don't forget that they have the Nymphora combo that is nicely sitting there and waiting, but not happening just yet. Meanwhile, mid lane, a little bit of extra action happening again. A reverse chuck is not going to land, but the hook though is going to reel in the Nymphora, and the Fairy is going down. That's it. Pebbles is going to have to ditch his teammate there and walk by all the way back there. A little bit sad to see that, but even the Sandwraith being called to play here to win a little bit of the assist goal, I don't think that it was appropriate for him to port all the way into the mid lane. A little bit of a waste of mana there.
Yeah, I think it was still okay for him because if he had not ported in mid, I don't think he would have been able to really pick up the kill. Maybe, maybe not, but I gotta say that at least he does get the assist goal. He's gonna fairly walk back quite easily at the same time, so he's gonna have a alright time. He already finishes his steam boost, by the way. Sitting only at 127 gold in his bank. Probably gonna go for a Firebrand first, or even an Energizer. That's kind of like the go-to item for Sandwraiths nowadays. And he's doing a pretty decent job, and that's mainly because Empath is here at the bottom lane. But Warbeast is finally slowly starting to find that farm, and it's gonna look good for them if they're able to slow down the snowball from this Warbeast, because Hellborn team, they have that early game advantage, and they might even have late game with Warbeast because he's gonna be able to like split push towers, and that's really annoying.
Yep, so you're gonna have to address the War Beast as well, coming from the Legion side. But there we go, Stalagmite's gonna land quickly on a Prisoner. River Shark this time gonna be successful, and that's the combo I'm talking about. But because it's a Prisoner and he already has got the very tanky health, level 6 already at about 900 max health, would be able to survive. If it's a normal INT hero, maybe even AGI would have definitely gone down already.
Yeah, exactly. And he has that bottle to quickly regen. He even has a power supply to work with if he wants. Warbeast is doing a good job of trying to pull this, but unfortunately, ooh, I'm not sure if that was a pull or maybe he was just farming that, but his creep minion was the cadaver was there and couldn't spawn the next wave of ancients over there. Middle lane, Lucian's doing a lot of work, I have to say, constantly harassing this Pebbles and Nymphora. Top lane though, Wretched Hag just completely abandoned the lane. It's just so hard for him right now.
Speaking about Hag, Hag now is in the mid lane joining Prisoner, trying to make something happen. But a level 10 Prisoner with a level 3 Hag is a little bit of a weird pairing, and she better be sure to not be caught in a combo there. River Shark again gonna happen, Prisoner gonna pop the everybody. Here's the Illuna, try and make the difference. The Seraph comes in. Is the Seraph able to pick up a kill on the Illuna? That's the question. Yes, it's gonna be good enough. Pebbles is gonna be questioned as well, and he goes down as well. Nymphora is gonna be fine, but she is in a very tight spot. Needs to be really careful because there's a Hag behind her. And this is a pretty interesting situation where a really ugly witch tries to kidnap a fairy, and that's not gonna happen, so that's okay.
Well, maybe it might, because he has an invis, but I don't. Maybe? Yeah, okay, he won't. Runfar's smart enough to back off already. He knows that there's a rune that just spawned. Probably shouldn't stick around for that, but yeah, I mean, TMWG actually really misplayed that. They actually launched the bomb onto themselves with that Pebbles chuck back onto the. Was it the Prisoner 9 for 5? You always have to remember, if you want to set up a gang, you gotta keep in mind for the you gotta be wary for the Sand Wraith that can always pop by. Who's level 8 by the way now, highest level in the game.
Yeah, it is. The Paltrow is gonna connect on the Empath as well as the Ophelia. That's pretty good. But the Hag is still invisible and will show herself with a HoN, but it's just like boo, ooh, scary. That's all. It's not like we're gonna kill you. Nothing real happening to the Warbeast. He does have Metamorphosis to work with, so if they are gonna try and address the Warbeast, they definitely need a complete 100% lockdown. Because even if they do slow him, it's gonna be a 5-2-2 flying wolf no matter what happens.
Yeah, exactly. A really scary wolf at that point. In fact, they're gonna try to push down bottom, which is pretty alright. In fact, Empath is gonna get his level 6, I believe, after this tower, which means that his Sandrift is gonna be tremendously even much more scarier because of that added health, attack speed and attack damage from Aswan. So that's gonna be really good.
By the way, Warbeast is doing a lot of work with the Hellhounds, definitely trying to postpone and push a little bit by making sure that the Hellhounds will distract the entire Legion army all the way from the bottom tower, and that's going to be a lot of work there as well. I do believe that that is pretty effective to a certain extent, but you can delay, you cannot make it go away. That's a little bit weird. Ophelia popping the ulti soon. And we do have Desert Curse on the Warbeast already. They might be looking at a little bit of a contest to defend this tower, but there is no pot in yet. Pot is still available for use. It's not being used. It's gonna go all the way down to nothing there. The tower is gonna be destroyed. That's gonna be fine. But Hellborn side is gonna be left without a tier 1 down south. And by the way, that's the first tower for the entire game. Meanwhile, Sandrift is going somewhere, and Sandrift is going to the mid lane, looking for the kill on the Pebbles. Pebbles gets pulled in all the way. The Chuck is gonna connect, and yep, it's gonna be a kill. Sandrift is gonna take it on nicely. And Nymphora stun is a little bit out of reach there, but double damage. Luna trying to make something happen. A Prisoner again will not do something there. So I do believe that if the hook landed, it would mean a kill there, because the amount of level on the Luna is just very low.
100% would have been a kill because Sandrift was in the vicinity as well. I just saw he threw out the Desert Curse. Oh, he actually, oh, really nice snipe there from Hag on that. What is it? That Luna. That was really nicely played, I have to say.
Yeah.
That was
all the way from a little bit of a side, kind of a flank there. Definitely worked very well for Team Legion. So that's gonna be a kill nonetheless. So hook hit or not doesn't matter. That's the statement that Team NMHC is telling us today. Anyway, both sides are playing a very good job. We're just waiting for this game to see whether who can have a slight lead. So far, it's definitely going to Team Legion, and I'm gonna give it to Larcms for a little bit of extra insights now.
Yeah, I mean, like Legion team, they're utilizing that Ophelia very effectively. They need to push down quickly so that they open up space for Hag, because Hag is just so far behind. And Sandrift has been snowballing really hard because he's been facing against this solo Warbeast with the help of the Empath. Empath surprisingly still not level 6 yet. Really hope he reaches that soon because that's a huge level for him. Because that means that's added more. That's a what? Added 40 more damage to Sandwave as well as attack speed. So that's just gonna dispel any aggression from Hellburn team because Sandrift is gonna find you, gonna kill you, and yeah, you can't do much. The best signs of life right now for Hellburn team is that they have a light brand on Dampier, and he's reaching really close to Grimmer power. He's at 1.4k in his bank right now.
Yeah, it is, and that's a 1.4k goal lead for Team Legion. And Hellborn a little bit behind. They are only at 1 kill as compared to the 5. They also don't have a tower to work with anymore. And I was expecting a lot of early game aggression coming from the Hellborns. I do know it's a best of 1, so they cannot afford to screw this one up, or they are out of the Caller Rally. And the importance of this whole event really is to try and streamline the top 4 teams coming from both Caller Rallies and to try and put them in the final tournament win in the winner's bracket. So that is the significance. It's not about this mini series here. It's all about the big one at the back end and how your standings are going to that one there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was watching the Hellhounds just constantly harassing this Empath. Look at Empath, man. So much damage.
Oh, Sandrift going somewhere, looking for a kill on Nymphora. Nymphora lands a good stun, but Sandrift is able to just nicely sidestep and picking up the kill easily. And there's a Shackle on the Dampier. That's going to be a chain, monster there, but it's going to be fine. And Dampier looking for the kill on the Hag. Pebbles nicely comes to the finish of a Dampier. A little bit of a questionable spot right now. The hook is going to connect, and that's going to be it for that double tap going out for the Sandrift as well. And they are looking for extra hat trick here onto the Pebbles, but Pebbles is going to be shackled nicely. I do believe it's going to the Sandrift. It's going to be a hat trick. Is that going to be a quad kill? That's the question. Can Prison land a hook? It's not going to be possible. So that's going to be it. Hat trick going out for the Sandrift.
Wow, that's a huge hat trick for him, and a huge misplay coming in from Hellborn team. I can't believe Pebbles is doing this badly. I actually thought that Hellborn team had this in the bag because their lineup is that much more scarier in the early start of the game. But Legion team is just really making it work. I think it really has to go back to the fact that that middle lane, when they kind of threw the bomb onto themselves, that chuck back from that Prisoner 945 really set them back a lot. And that forced the extra levels on Cyber because he always ports in with the Mirage and helps to get his own levels up, his gold up. That's why he's able to set up so much kills, like you saw there again at the top lane with the rest of his teammates. Doing a really good job. I actually thought that this Dampier would have had the presence of mind to sidestep the hook, which was kind of obvious to come up, but unfortunately sidestep was on cooldown. This is not a pushback hero, but yeah, it's gonna take him a while. He's still sitting on a light brand at least. You will at least get that Blessed Orb in 300 more gold, so not that big of a deal.
Empath in a little bit of tight spot there. The wall is gonna give him a little bit of space against the Pebbles. That's very nicely played actually. But here comes the War Base, and how is she gonna deal with that? There's no level 6, so there's no way she can go into anybody at all, or anyone can help her. So she's gonna be in a little bit of tight spot, and the flying fairy just all the way from North, making sure that she goes down. That's gonna be a really good gameplay coming from Pebbles. A little bit of a redemption happening there. That's good to see. But 8-3, and Pebbles needs to play a lot of a key role in this game. Still hasn't got a Paul key yet that he needs desperately.
Yeah, he really needs that. And Nymphora is already level 6. The problem is he can't really port anyone around. He can actually port the Dampier, but at this kind of situation, hold the thought.
Stalagmite gonna miss completely. The hook is gonna connect on both of them. That's gonna be a big catch today. Guys, we're gonna have fish all day long. But that being said, Luna is gonna be challenged by Sandrift. Sandrift going to pick up a hat trick again. Oh my god, the amount of kill on his Sandrift is now 8-0 and 3. There is no way the Hellborn can stop this without a precision, concise effort. So it's gonna be a real deal of amount of work for Hellborn to really come in to try and address the Sandrift. The problem is they cannot do so without level on the Warbase, without level on the Nymphora. Even Nymphora needs to make sure that there is a good gang with the Pebbles, and even Pebbles needs the portal key, so they are very far behind. And with the recent death, Pebbles is now even further from his portal key.
Yeah, and you know what's the major point in all this? It's because this is like both teams are from Malaysia. Whichever team has the Hang Tuah is definitely gonna win. Hands down. I mean, it's just an avatar. Hang Tuah, you know the Sandrift?
Oh yeah,
Malaysian history of it. But yeah, what is this? Most of the problem from Hellburn team, I feel, is that the laning wise, they could have actually sent War Beast mid as kind of like that so-called off lane, and then just set up for a straight tri-lane aggression with Pebbles, Aluna, and this what's his name, Nymphora at the bottom. That would shut down this Sandrift, at the same time give a lot of farm to Pebbles, so they can be that much more aggressive with the Nymphora. And you have the, like, as soon as Nymphora and Aluna reach the level 6, you have so much gang potential. You don't need to worry so much about your Dampier solo top, nor do you have to worry about your mid lane War Beast. So it's kind of a bit of questionable laning, I have to say, because you don't want to ever let Sandwave just farm by himself. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
against a off lane like War Beast.
That is correct. Warbase is definitely no capacity to try to stop that. But it seems like a little bit extra engagement happening here. Pebbles is going to be challenged again. If he goes down, there is no Portuguese pick off. But again, its hook is going to land on the Dampier instead. That's going to be a lot of trouble for Prisoner. Prisoner is going down. But the champion of New York already on that. Sandriv and the toss all the way there, making sure that Sandriv is going to be a little bit of a questionable spot as Sandriv goes down, so that's going to be good. Going for the Dampier with a hat trick of his own, so it's going to be pretty good to see that. And Hellborn breathing a lot of sign of life back into this game. They are very much determined to make sure that this will work. And just right about now, congratulations, because Pebbles didn't die and he did snack up quite a few assists as well as kill there. He did get his portal key.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And if I'm not mistaken, Dampier was the one that picked up the champion of the Earth. No.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he did.
streak, yeah.
So that just means he's gonna be even much more farmed. I think he just purchased something, probably even a Mighty Blade or a Portal Key. Yeah, he just purchased. He just purchased a Portal Key. But yeah, he just purchased a Portal Key, and he's probably gonna go ahead. Here we go, Pebbles again.
Yeah, Pebbles. No, it's actually able to pick up the Ophelia. That's pretty short story there. Not able to say much of a thing there again, but in general, it is a pretty questionable position for the Ophelia to be in without any ward of sight. But I would say that while we have always been focusing on the Sandriv's farm, he does have good GPM. Let's just compare them. 500. We completely forgot about Dampier's farm. And it's just like the same thing. And Dampier now going to try and chomp on the Sandriv. Wow, it's going to be slightly possible here. The Ray Power Troy be connected would have meant a kill on the Sandriv again. But it didn't do so. A little bit sad to see that it missed by a slight inch there. And it's a little bit of a misplay coming from Hellborn. I mean, it's a good attempt, so I'm not going to call it a misplay, but it's pretty interesting to see that. That being said, though, there's still very good farm on Dampier. 550 already, and now it's going to get real in. It's going to be pretty questionable. The Paddle's going to try and finish off the Empath. That's going to be easy, but Dampier is going to get turned on there, and that's a little bit sad to see. And meanwhile, Pebbles is going to try to run away as fast as he can. He does a double damage, but with 3 heroes behind you, it doesn't really matter anyway. The hook is going to connect, and the Pebble sniper sidestep that. It's going to be really sad to see. It's double tap going for the Hack. So Hack is going to have sizable amount of gold coming out from that engagement. 2.7k gold already. Looking for something really good. Maybe even a light brand next.
Yeah, he definitely needs a light brand. And that was... Yeah, it's okay play there by the Pebbles to run away from his teammates. I actually thought he was going to run towards them so they could set up for some stuns, but probably would just lead the rest of his teammates to their death as well. Dampier, he did have that portal key, but unfortunately he just got way out of position. He needs a Mighty Blade next. They're going to get this tier 2 mid with no issue at all. And they could even probably put some chip damage into the base tower. Although I don't really think that's the best idea right now.
Yeah, there's a nice little lone tornado that seems to be a little bit biased in terms of nature there. We'll be able to try and bite down the Legion side, but that's okay. A lot of work being done by Ophelia's creeps. In general, the Dampier is now going to respawn quickly, so it's going to be good. Meanwhile, Warb is doing a lot of work at the top lane, making sure that the tier 2 will go down. And Dampier jumping on Prisoner, making sure that there's a little bit of engagement happening there. And Slamite is going to connect. That's a perfect engagement from the Pebbles. It's going to be a kill on the Hack. Prisoner going to try to run away, but here comes Hangtua the Sandrave with Empath inside. That's a buffed up Sandrave. The hook is unfortunately not going to connect there. Desert going to try and make something happen. There's a little bit of a stun from the Empath onto Dampier. That's why he got stopped there. It seems like Ophelia is going to pay the price. So Ophelia is going to get chucked upon and definitely is going to go down. Sandrave no doubt already all the way back home, making sure that he doesn't feed anymore. And also, we got Prisoner in a little bit of a tight spot there. He's going to be okay though.
Yeah, and that... Whoa, okay. That was mainly because that shrunken-headed War Beast came into effect. Like, War Beast is just going for the really right items. Like, he's been able to play this pretty damn well, actually, despite having that couple of misplays at the start of the game, like at the level 1 where he misplayed with the micro of the creeps. He actually was able to farm up his Abyssal Skull relatively well. The item order and item progression was really good from him. He went for the Abyssal Skull first, got his shrunken head now, and now he's going to be able to just run around in team fights. And this is the mark. This is the time that Hellborn really shines, because it's 20 minutes in mid-game. You have Portal Key and Dampier on top of Brim of Power. You have the shrunken-headed Warbeast. They even have the Portal Key Pebbles. What they need next is a couple of shrunken heads.
Yeah, for a moment there, we all thought that this game was definitely going to Legion side, but the mid game is really where Hellbourne will shine. You have the Grimoire, like you mentioned, IC token is already on Dampier as well, and I mean, it's completely insane in the previous engagement. How the hell do you expect to fight a war base that's shrunken headed, completely shiny and all? Meanwhile, Samster is going somewhere, looking for a kill onto the Pebbles. Pebbles should not be here, but he is invisible anyway, so that is a little bit of a taunt going off there. Even gonna waste the Sander's ultimate, so that's very nice to see. Pebbles might pick up a kill on the Empap is gonna be able to do that nicely, and will try and pot it, but Empire jumping a little bit questionable again. The rest of his team is not around. That's gonna be a big throw if he goes down now. Where is the backup? The backup is a little bit too slow there, and the hook is not gonna come in, but that's okay. The Babael is going out there. Dampier having a token on life is gonna try and met up here. The Shackle onto the Nymphora. Nymphora is definitely going down there, but that's okay. Dampier trying to bite on Prisoner, but with Incent here, it's gonna be a little bit questionable. But here comes the granddaddy of them all. The War Base is here to save the day. Is it gonna be enough? That's the question. Dampier jumps in with Terrorize. That's gonna slow them around a little bit. The sandbag's gonna be effective, but down goes the Ophelia. And there is no Desert Curse on his Sand Rift. He is in a little bit sweet spot there, and he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that sweet spot saved his life, man. If he wasn't able to get out of the engagement, I would have to say that that was a favorable, definitely favorable exchange for Hellbourne team, because then they could have at least pushed the tier 2 bottom. But because of that, I wouldn't say it was favorable at all. They lost token, and they didn't get any push out of it, so it wasn't that great. And okay, Impact might actually die here, the pure today. Oh no, he has no skills. It's off. That's unfortunate.
Yep, used everything on the Ancients, but it's okay. He took like 5 Ancients there, so that's definitely worth it. In general, it's gonna be really nice to see, and like I was back to my point previously, you have yep, sorry, I thought it was gonna be a kill. Shit, I saw the Nymphora pot and I'm like, Warby's going now, man. Sorry, my bad. But anyway, Xiaojie there, he is playing as the War Base, doing a very good job. It's not as if that there is any form of physical burst coming from the Legion side. That's the problem when you see a shiny, shrunken-headed War Base that's in Metamorphosis form coming all the way at you, just biting away. Even Senriv is gonna have to call it quits and retreat, because there is nothing of any sort that can burst down this War Base, and he is going to be trying to bite you down. The only way to win a War Base when he is in that form is to try and make sure that there is no further, since there's enough burst and you man up against that. Meanwhile, Hack is going down, and that's as we all saw on the camera. That's going to be good. The hook is going to connect, and that's going to be questionable, because this is what I'm saying. Shrunken at a War Base coming in, but there is nothing that you could really do there, because there is also no backup. And Prisoner being the only thing with enough meat to try and make sure that the bites don't really hurt.
My god, man, I feel hungry now. Oh, here comes Pebble.
Oh, there we go. It's gonna be enough this time around. The Chuck is gonna connect, and down goes the Prisoner. But there is also a backup from the Legion side. The Serif coming in. It's gonna be questionable, because there is nothing much you could really do against a 5-man there, and that's gonna be again a little bit of a problem. Ophelia is gonna go down. Unfortunately, the Crypt's doing a lot of work, and that was the main reason why there was a little bit of disarray there. But that's okay. And Hellbourne is leading his game so far. What a turnaround it is for the Hellbourne side. They are doing a lot of work. We thought that Pebbles was not gonna have the best of game, but he is always on the ball with the Chalk. It's not about the Chalk, it's about the damage that falls after that. The Void's going out on the Aluna, and it seems like Prisoner is not able to do much of a thing against that one. That's going to be okay, but Dampier is going to jump in quickly, and Dampier looking for a kill. Is it going to be possible? That's the question, though. And Pub with a very nice wall. Is it going to be enough to kill the Pebbles? That should be it. Pebbles goes down. Meanwhile, it's going to cost them the range barracks. The melee barracks is going to be questionable next. Dampier jumping on a kill there. It's gonna be materialized onto the Hack, and Dampier trying to survive, but the rest of his team is gonna be able to pull back, and that's a noble Dampier, man. That's all I'm saying.
That Dampier was super greedy, not worth it. They didn't get melee. They actually focused range instead of melee racks. Kind of questionable decision over there, bros, but should have definitely aimed at melee racks in my opinion. They kind of got some decent exchange out of it, because they did force the buyback on Prisoner 9 for 5, but they paid with the life of Dampier, who was slightly greedy, well not slightly, really greedy, and Pebbles died as well. I actually, the reason I went Wood is because I thought Nymphora would actually try to deny him at least.
Yeah, but Nymphora didn't, and Nymphora did also, was able to pot back home, and that's gonna be good. The reason why I called Dampier noble is because he knows that he couldn't just run away, so instead of calling for backup, or rather try and run away and bring the attention all the way to the rest of his teammates that are fleeing, he did take a little bit of time there to try and, making sure that the rest of his teammates will be able to be safe. It could be a misplay, and I'm glorifying a misplay or greediness, but that's okay. We like to see a lot of greediness, but we hope that it will work. The problem is it didn't work for him there, and that's a bit sad to see. So don't forget the fact that now he already has got a shrunken head, and Warbase talking about enough bite power there. He's gonna have the shield breaker right under the belt there, and that is gonna be a very Very dangerous item to use on a prisoner that doesn't even have much armor to begin with. Let's check prisoner armor at about only 11. With the shield breaker, that's gonna bite him all the way down to about only 5, and that's basic armor for you there. It's gonna be really scary. That's why Shrunken Head and Warp is you're gonna have to avoid the hounds, man. Or the big one.
I actually kind of agree with this item pickup coming from Hag. The problem now that Legion team has is not about
Wait, hang on, Hag, what item?
the damage.
There is no item on Hag, that's just like a... You mean
No.
the Hag, the item that it's gonna be the
Yeah,
cold
the item it's gonna be, yes. He's
Not
gonna go for
agreeing with that
Clover's
stop, that's
cheap stick.
interesting. Yeah.
And I definitely feel that that's an okay option for him because at this point of the time, he needs to be able to lock down at least one hero coming out from the Hellborn team. If anything, maybe even that Warbeast, because Warbeast is just crushing them in team fight. They have decent damage output already because of the Sandwraith and the Prisoner. Bat Blast still will do a decent amount of damage. They don't necessarily need to have that Grimmer first. In this kind of situation, I actually feel that it's okay to go for the Closure Sheepstick first. But oh, Career gets sniped out. Really nicely played there by the Hellhounds. But yeah, the next item after that definitely needs
Here
to
comes the Pebbles on the kill on the Empath. It could be questionable, but it seems like Empath is going to go into Sandrift, and that's going to be the ultimate escape for an Empath. And now Pebbles going to be questionable, but here comes the Warbeast. The wall is still going to be up, and Sandrift going to pop the ulti. Is he going anywhere? That's the question. It seems like a bad blast is going on. That's going to be big for the Legion side, and it's going to be really questionable now. Hellborn a little bit amazed where the hell the rest of my teammates, they're all in hell, guys. Gonna try and deal with that, and it seems like Sandrift gonna take a little bit of beating, but Pure Shrunken not able to do much of a thing because he doesn't have the chargers there. Essence is not there, but he does pick up the kill on the Prisoner nonetheless, so that's gonna be good. And in total, that's gonna be a 3-1 kind of exchange. We thought that that's gonna be a really good gang from the Hellborn side, but they overextended, and great gameplay coming from the Empath and the Hag. Don't forget, the Bat Blast did the work there.
Yeah, okay, there's a lot of things that didn't work in that previous engagement. The first thing, of course, is you can't miss that red power snipe. That actually helped the Legion team a lot because they wasted so much on trying to burst on the Empath that it left Pebbles in a very vulnerable state. Empath survived, boosted the damage and attack speed of Sandwraith, who completely steamrolled on them. And then you saw Dampier jump in with not even 3 essence charges. He would have actually survived in my opinion, but because he was shackled, he couldn't get the vampiric slide off onto the Prisoner. Like, he could have flown to the Prisoner and then run away, maybe. By the way, Hag just finished that Closure Sheepstick, and that's another thing to take away from the team fight. The Legion team got everything that they needed in that. They forced the Shrunken Head from Warbeast with that ultimate. He didn't get any kills. They took a really unfavorable team fight. The problem now
Pebbles!
is that, oh yeah, here we go.
It's gonna be easy kill, but why
Yeah.
the hell is Nymphora taking that one? All she
Yeah.
needs to do is throw out a nice little flying butterfly and pick up the kill. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
Nymphora,
and-
yeah, back to your point, please.
Yeah, sorry, and like the major problem right now that Hellborn is having is they are not really utilizing that Nymphora port.
Yep, that's definitely a big problem. It is it's questionable. That's the problem there, and I feel that Hellborn side is not putting forth any form of a good gang with the Nymphora combo, even with the Dampier. We did mention this in the drafting stages, man. You're gonna have to use the Dampier with the Nymphora, or even the Pebbles and the Dampier with the Nymphora to pick up some kill, but it isn't used to effectiveness here. That's the main problem. There is also no aggressive ward coming from the Hellborn side, the only one being in the base, and that is... Okay, that is very aggressive, but other than that, there's no... Speaking about that, it seems like a little bit of reverse chuck happening here. It's gonna mean a kill on the Empath already, but the problem is this is gonna be enough for a kill onto the Nymphora, or it is gonna be enough, so that's gonna be good. The rest of the members there, it's a little bit of a troll if you ask me, but it's gonna be okay.
I don't know about that, man. You just traded your Nymphora and Pebbles. Wait, was it Pebbles?
Pebbles was fine. Pebbles
No,
didn't
Pebbles
die.
survived. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
Pebbles
it's
was
still
able to
okay.
port back, but you traded Nymphora for a Empath, and you used both the the red power throw and the Pebbles combination Shrunken Head over there. So not the best trade in my opinion. That Closure Sheepstick is gonna do a lot of work in the next couple of team fights, I do believe. I think the next item that Warbeast definitely needs is gonna be that Brutalizer.
Yeah, and that's gonna be interesting. That's it. It seems like Hellborn is gonna take a little bit of time here to try and make something happen. Meanwhile, top lane, it's gonna be a little bit of engagement happening on the Sandrift. Sandrift's gonna try and run away quickly with the Juminus being popped already. That's gonna be good. The biggest problem now is that it all seems like Hellborn team is slowing down again. And it's a little bit sad to see. Previously, when you saw the nice little combination coming from Dampier and the Warbeast, it just steamrolled. But right now, bottom lane, a little bit of a nice kill there by Xiaojie onto that hack.
Yeah, he was like.
Sorry?
Yeah, he was actually hexed out the War Beast, but he was like running around in max movement speed because he was in that Metamorphosis farm. Wait, no, sorry, not War Beast. It was the Dampier that got hexed out. Ooh, Pebbles.
Pebbles trying to make something happen. It's going to be a long chuck all the way from Beijing. And that being said, it seems like Sandev is going to have a little bit of a questionable position there. But that's going to be okay because the chuck didn't materialize there. That's the problem there. Not enough damage after the chuck. And Dampier trying to come in to make something happen. He does have 3 SMs already, as you can see in that special form. Sandev is going to be hiding behind the trees there. The stun's going to connect and they are going to spun out. There is also Empower behind. There is going to be a sizable amount of stun. The life still doing a lot of work there, but Sandev is going to hide ultimately behind a lot of trees there. So it's not going to be good for Team Hellborn that is wasting time trying to find them. And that is going to be a little bit of a problem for them.
Yeah, they should just probably back off right now. Sandrafe is sitting on a Shrunken Head and a Tributor's Bane now. So he's pretty farmed up. I think a Brutalizer would be a good choice for him over here. He could actually have that so they can lock the heroes coming up from Hellborn into place because they have a lot of Shrunken Heads up. They're gonna go for Kong, by the way, Legion, Hellborn team that is. There is vision of this, so they know that that's happening. You see already, Legion team is running over. Prisoner 9 for 5 has that Portal Key and Incendiarius. He needs that, either that Elder Parasite or Shrunken Head next. I definitely feel that the Shrunken Head would be much more better. Here we go.
Yep, and that's it. It seems like a little bit of a pot coming in from the Sanriff. Sanriff trying to make something happen here, but not able to do much of a thing. There is a lot of contest coming from the Hellborn side. They are all able to be fine, and that's the good news there. Prisoner might be able to land something here. The Shackle going on the Dampier, and that's going to be big because that's the carry, and the carry cannot afford to go down there. And here comes the Warbeast to try and make it all equate out nicely. The Babael is connecting on them, and it's going to be shrunken. It's going to be shrunkenated already. However, Pebbles is going to be hexed out, and Pebbles now going to face off with the Sanriff. That's his worst nightmare. The stun is going to connect nicely, but Hack coming to pick up the kill. That is very decent. The hook is not going to connect on the Luna. That's questionable though, and it seems like an Infora is definitely going down. That's a Legion side. He's going to have a little bit of an advantage if they decide to push right now, but they are all going to pot back home.
Okay, I gotta say that Hellborn team is just really throwing the game really hard right now. They threw the game at the top lane, now they're throwing the game at the bottom, and then now they threw again at the second time next to their tier 2 tower where it used to be. And they are not taking the best team fights. Really unfavorable trades. Completely not doing what they're supposed to do. Here comes Warbeast again, gonna try to pick up the skill on Empath.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good, and it's not gonna be possible because Warbeast doesn't have the damage by himself. And 26 is to 21, 5k goal lead for the Hellborn side. They are doing a very good job, and I mean so far there is pretty good items on the Warbeast already. There's also the Soul's Boa Cup, and those are the items that I would like to see on the Warbeast. However, he doesn't have the Demonic Breastplate, something that he desperately needs. And I would feel that he needs to have that by the next team fight. In general, this game, comparing both teams, it's like we always know that Legion side, they're doing their homework. They are doing a lot of work in the background. It's always about the Hellborn side, whether they can get their work together, whether they can get the shit together. That's the problem. They haven't been able to do so ever since the mid lane success with defense there. We did see a Warbeast coming out, and that was very good. He does have Shrunken Headed, but after that, that's the crux. They didn't capitalize on any of those mistakes that Legion side made, whereas Legion team just completely make sure that there is a little bit of a sync problem. Meanwhile, mid lane hexed out. The Luna is going to mean death for her. And Sandra is going to try and pot in and pick up the Infora as well. So that was the Luna and Infora now going down, and that would be both supports out already. That's going to be a 5 versus 3. They are all going to try and nicely pot away. Prisoner hook is already off cooldown, and it's going to miss sidestep there by Dampier. Very nice to see that. Warbeast doing his own work now, trying to push the bottom lane. That's going to be interesting as well.
Yeah, I don't really agree with Dampier. Assassin Shroud, not the best item choice. I actually think even going for a Health Flower would be better because you can just jump in, Health Flower with the Sandray, force him not to use a Shrunken Head. They burst him down really quickly. Here we go.
Oh, the pot cancel happening from Dampier there, making sure that Warbeast at least gets something done. But no, Warbeast is going to try and pop back home now because the melee barracks is questioned now. And that seems like it is going down. Whereas for the range barracks, it is going to be in fort. But that is not going to bother Team Legion. They are going in and they are not going to retreat until this Rex goes down. And that's going to be the statement there. It's going to be gone already. And that's it. Hellborn is not even doing much of a thing. They are still going to try and pot, or rather cancel the pots away. whereas Warbase is doing a lot of work against the melee barracks, and it seems like melee barracks is gonna be going down as well. There is no pot back home because they have all been cancelled away by the Ampere as well as the Pebbles with the push book as well. Who has the push book? I think. Yeah, Luna doing a lot of work there. And there we go. It seems like a little bit of a reverse action happening here. Pebbles in a little bit of a tough spot is going down as well. The Ampere now is gonna try and make something happen, but can he kill anyone before he goes down? I don't think so. He is gonna be invisible, but he still goes down. Sandbag is gonna be positive though, and it seems like Warbase is gonna try and just nerfly nicely bite on the melee barracks. That's gonna be a success. Full push for the Warbase. So it seems like Legion team was able to push the mid lane, but at what cost? Like, you know, most of us always ask. It's gonna be the top lane as well as the bottom lane completely barren there.
Yeah, that was okay. The amount of huge plays happened was the amount of port cancels they had. Oh, hold the thought, Empire.
Yeah, the Ampere now gonna try and jump in here. A little bit of a problem if you ask me, but it seems like he's not able to pick up a kill on Ophelia, and now he's gonna have to force the fire prisoner, plus the fact there's an Empire behind. It's gonna switch target, but that's again a bit of a problem if you ask me. Dampier is gonna be okay, but he does have the Shroud. The problem with the Shroud is that it doesn't provide extra damage or even utility. It does only give you extra survivability, which in this case was particularly effective. But you know, it's gonna be a little bit insane if you want the Dampier to kill 3 heroes at the same time in this kind of setting.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing I wanted to mention, like, there's so much action happening, I couldn't really say. But that was really huge port cancels because that gave so much space for this split push coming out from this Warbeast who pushed down bottom set of Rexes as well as the top set of Rexes. So now all the problems that TMWG has been having, like a lot of the throws that they did, they kind of redeemed themselves with that split push. That was really sneaky plays and really, really well played. You can almost compare it to that $1 million puck plays coming up from the Alliance in Dota 2 International Finals, where, I mean, they canceled every single port. They quickly pushed down the set of Rexes. I mean, Warbeast by himself pushed down the Rexes at the bottom as well as the top. They can probably even go for a base race now if they wanted to, because they just need, like, even pushing down the mid tower should be something that's next on the list, because they're up one set of racks and a set of and a tower, sorry, on top of that. Plus, they still have one tier 2 up available.
Yeah, invisible, shrouded. Prisoner comes to the top of the alley. That's gonna be big, and it seems like the Hex is gonna be on Dampier. Dampier's gonna get really into well. Where is the Bad Blast? She died before she's able to use that. It was on cooldown. That's a bad team fight from Legion, but it's gonna be okay because Sandrift is here to save the day, or so we think. However, Sandrift is taken care of, and that's the problem because now Hellborn has got completely nothing at all to face off against them, and it's gonna be interesting. They have the ability to pick up also the last hero there. That's the Empath, and that's good to see. Ophelia is not able to do much of a thing. I feel Ophelia is just nicely nursing the creeps there, but that's okay. And they are all gonna nicely try and push on this mid lane. That's gonna be GG well played. A lot of a good gameplay coming out from both sides this game. TMWG, they did it very well. The biggest play of all was to cancel all the pot by the Ampere, by Luna, by Pebbles. All 3 of them deserve a lot of credit for that. Warbeast, of course, for pushing down the entire top as well as the bottom lane. So the moral of the story really is it's not about what kind of items you have in your bank, it's always about who can win the base race. And it seems like the biggest fountain of them all is going to be nicely knocked on here, and there is nothing a Legion team could do. They have a very farmed up Sandray, but it's going to be sad to see. And yeah, it's a little bit of a misplay if you ask me, trying to pot back all the way home in front of your enemy there in the base, when you know that there are 4 heroes on the opponent's roster that can nicely cancel out your pots. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The winner is gonna be TMWG, and they are gonna be your third place or second runner up. Yeah, so that's gonna be good. And 4th place is gonna be NMHC. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more games a little bit later, and that would be the final match between Orange Esports and Impunity.
Yeah, I mean that game, that was so fun to watch because we rarely get to see games where teams actually try to sneak past a set of Raxes throughout that. That really kind of reminded me kind of like how the Alliance game went in Dota 2, and I don't know about that, but that was pretty damn epic to see that kind of push happening. Like, they know that in their minds, guys, this game is all about destroying the shrine and not about killing heroes. Like, they were getting killed over and over and over again, but they were like, yo, you know what, screw that, we're just gonna YOLO it up, let's go. We're gonna cancel all their ports. Warbeast, you just stay behind. I mean, you stay at their Raxes to stick it out, and then that last final team fight where they caught out I think it was the Sandreef, and then not the Sandreef, the Prisoner 95, and the rest of the teams came on. That was just really huge. That was what secured them the game, and of course the quick nim for a port.
Yep, that's good, and that's it. We are gonna be back with more games, so do stay tuned for that. And it's gonna be the finals coming up next. It will be between Orange Esports and Impunity, two teams with very long history and a lot of bad blood in there. So I hope that it's gonna be a pretty serious kind of a game. That's it. This is Babael. Joining me is Lark, and see you guys for a short while. Goodbye.